pretty heartbreaking loss to play with that much passion, energy, and commitment and love for the guy next to you. It's amazing, you know, how many mistakes you can overcome with attitude and effort. And we made our fair share of them. Turned the ball over 4 times. You know, we had issues with the snap and couple costly calls that didn't go our way. Big time momentum swings. But our guys kept fighting. And I told them in the locker room, there's no moral victories in college football. They don't put you know, loss, you know, parentheses, yeah, but they played really hard. That doesn't happen. We lost. But if we can't hold our head high and learn from all of the good that came from this game, to go into the number 4 team in the country's house, a team that's won 11 or 12 straight games, and be up by 3 with 30 seconds left after everything that had happened, especially on offense, that had happened poorly, to be in a position to win the game. You know, I think that says a lot about how far we've grown up as a team in the last 2 weeks. And I think it's we wanted to win. There were a lot of tears, a lot of sorrow, a lot of dejection in that locker room. But I think after we lick our wounds and you know, realize how close we came, I think we're going to be able to build upon this immensely. And if we play every team in the Big 12 as hard and as physical as we played this team here tonight, home or on the road, we're going to have a shot to win some games. Questions?
Tom, is that your main takeaway, that these guys can fly home knowing that the process works and what you guys are teaching them, it will work if they just stick with it?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is, you know, how we're training them works. Again, we lost, so it doesn't, you know, we got a lot of mistakes to clean up. But you know, I said after the San Jose State game, I said if we won that game because we played so stinking hard and physical, but if we didn't clean up a lot of mistakes, I thought we'd get run out of the stadium here in Los Angeles. But we still made our fair share of mistakes, and it's amazing the power of playing hard and the power of never giving up and the power of resiliency. And I think that's something that our guys learned a huge lesson on tonight, and eventually we'll look at this and, you know, hopefully maybe be a turning point in our season.
At the end of the first overtime, was there any thought about going to 2?
Yeah, there was. But you know, we were playing good defense. We actually, you know, moved the ball offensively down there on the 25. And, you know, obviously hindsight's 20/20. You know, had you told me, hey, if you go into double overtime, you're going to fumble it, then yeah, I probably would have gone for 2. But you know, we had a 9-yard run by Sam, and then called the same play, and their guys made a great play on the ball.
Can you talk about the defensive effort? Sean played well,
Yeah, man, they kept us in the game. I mean, we couldn't do anything in the first half, nothing. You know, I think, you know, we were 1 of 7 on 3rd down, 2 turnovers. You know, our time of possession was awful, and there wasn't any finger pointing. I actually think the defense was excited to go back out each time they went back out because they were having fun out there, and that's the way good defenses are supposed to be. They want to go play, and you know, to keep us in the game the way that they did is a real testament to them.
Get going.
Say it again.
I was saying they were going to rebound their late after those early struggles to to get you guys points in the second half?
Just maturity. I think, it was obvious he was struggling a little bit in the first half. But I think to take the opening drive of the second half down and kick a field goal, I think that settled him down a bunch. We had some unfortunate field position there for a few series, but I think that drive to start the second half probably settled him down a little bit.
Did losing Connor change everything, or was just the run game just wasn't going to work?
You saw. We can't survive on 1 and 2 yard runs, and expect to then against that team, convert a bunch of 3rd and 7s or 3rd and 6s. We got to figure. I don't know who the culprit was. It's hard for me to tell on our vantage point, but felt like we had a good plan, obviously, or we wouldn't have installed it. But they did a good job of defending us, and whether it was the running back, whether it was the O-line, whether it was play calls and running into some disadvantageous looks. I won't know until I watch the film. I think so. And, that was the plan, at least. And if we were going to go down, we were going to go down swinging. And he'd thrown 4 picks in 2 games, and so we felt like we could maybe get our hands on a couple passes, and we did, and those were huge momentum swings.
What are your thoughts on Chris Warren after last week's performance, whether it's the 6 yards with saved 4 total?
Yeah, again, I think when you're not running the football, you can give him as many touches as you want, but when we're not pushing people off the ball or we're running into disadvantageous looks, what did he average on those 4 carries was 3.8. So we give him the ball 10 times, that's 38 yards. You give him the ball 20 times, that's 76 yards. So I think just in the flow of the game, when the plays that we felt like would work the best, we had some conversations, give him the ball, and kind of felt like every time we did it, we had a long of 5 yards, and so we got to figure out ways to get him the ball on plays that he's good at and that we're good at up front.
Would you have a guy catch the ball at the 1 yard line, have penalties, of course, you talk about the snap, seem to be some miscommunication. How do you think you clean up some of these mental errors?
Practice. We practiced all week with crowd noise. It wasn't an issue. We practice, the punt returner with his heels at the 8 ad nauseum, but we got to do it more. There's there's an experience factor there too. With Reggie's played 2 college football games, and it's not an excuse. We got to do a better job of coaching him and making sure that doesn't happen again. But we got to devote even more time. That's the only thing I know how to do. When you are coaching certain things and you don't see them show up on the field in games, then you've got to coach them so many times that they become habit, and that a guy's not even thinking. It's just, I've seen that in practice 1,000 times, and obviously we haven't put him in that position enough to where it's habit yet.
John, for your last year, defensive line offensive line, they didn't send it.
I don't know if it was more physical than their offensive line. I thought it was more physical than we'd seen so far this year, and they're going to need to play like that moving forward. And I thought they did take a big step tonight in terms of. You're right. The interior run game was fairly non-existent. We've got to do a better job when runs do bounce outside of maintaining proper leverage and making the play when we're unblocked. But I thought those guys did a really good job of playing physical and denying the inside run game.
Coach, were there any other injuries or any other things?
Yeah, we had Chris Warren with an eye laceration. Caleb Smith went out with a concussion again. And then our Monty, towards the end of the game there, his left wrist came down on it awkwardly, I believe, or something like that. So we're going to get it x-rayed. I don't know anything other than that. I'll take one more.
At what point in this week did you know that Ellinger was the guy? And then what's your thoughts on quarterback going forward?
Oh, probably Thursday, just felt like, with the game plan set with quite a few reads and quarterback runs, because we, early in the week, based on what we had seen Sunday and Monday, we were kind of under the assumption that Shane wasn't going to be able to go at all. But to have him available, was a bonus, but we felt like we were so far into the game plan preparation, and Shane was cleared. I think he'd be the first to tell you it wasn't 100%, but had we needed him, I think he could have gone in. So, and moving forward, I don't know. We'll Monday we'll see how Shane feels, and if he feels great, if he's 100%, he'll probably get the bulk of the first team reps. Just off the top of my head, he hasn't done much, if anything, to merit a change, I think. But though we know that there's a guy that had some freshman issues tonight, but is a guy that was a warrior there down the stretch on the road against a top 5 team, and we'll see where that takes us. But I would imagine, if Shane's at 100% on Monday, then he'll take the bulk of them, and we'll still continue to give Sam some too, and make sure that just like it was in training camp and the first week and whatever, that that those guys show up ready to play every day that we practice. Because again, in this program, you're only as good as your last practice, and we believe that. So it'll be fun watching those guys compete moving forward. Thank you.